Hello everyone, this is Don, going over payment processors as part of the Session 1 Shopping Cart training session. Payment processors, when I say payment processors, I'm speaking of basically the options that you give your customers to pay for their products or checkout in their shopping cart. Let's go ahead and take a look at those right now from the back end. Now, the options become available, of course, during the checkout, but if we go to shopping cart to get to the payment processor options, go to shopping cart, and then go to list payment methods. Now, here's a listing of all the different payment options that we provide you, or the payment modules that we provide you to use in the shopping cart. Some of our standard ones, and again, I'm going to go ahead and open up a page here, a second tab on the back end. And the reason why I'm doing this is just to show you where more of this information is found. And it's one of those things you're going to want to look at. But we are here to help you. But if you go to shopping cart setup, you'll go to payment processors. There are some different payment gateways that we make available, and those are Authorize.net, LinkPoint, VeriSign PayFlow Pro, which is actually PayPal Pro, eProcessing Network, PayMeNow, eCheck.net, SecurePay, and SecureNet. Those are the different payment processors. And when we say payment processors gateways, these are services that you'll also need to set up. These services, or these gateways, communicate with your merchant account and your bank account. So these are gateways that you also charge they have a charge rate monthly, and you'll need to set those up and also give them access to your bank account. So when it gets charged on the website, it can charge the credit card and move those funds from the shopper's credit card into your bank account. Eventually, that's the goal, the ending goal. So these are the ones that we currently support and accept. Again, these will be changing. Some of them, they kind of, just like with technology, things change. So we may need to update one of these, or a company buys another company. For example, VeriSign PayFlow Pro was actually bought by PayPal. So even though it says VeriSign PayFlow Pro, and it's still kind of acknowledged or recognizes that, it really is PayPal, and PayPal is the VeriSign PayFlow Pro now. So to get to these these payment options, again, if you go to a shopping cart, and then click on the list payment methods on this control panel, or as well you can go to store and list payment methods. Here they all are. Now, like I said, we support the gateways. We also support PayPal, so if you have a PayPal account, you can set that up here. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on this because this is we do have help documentation, the help on all of these guys here. So for example, PayPal checkout setup, it goes through that and how to enter in your information onto what images. So all of our help documentation is there for that, but I just want to bring your attention to them, and you can activate them and set up your configuration for them. And that is all done from this area here. So for example, if I did want to activate PayPal, I would check it to activate it, make it as a payment option on the back end. I would also, though, need to go into the PayPal payment module here, and I'd go into configuration, and I'd take it out of test mode, but I would need to put in my email address by PayPal. And then I would have some other options. So for order status for successful transactions, would that be a confirmed status? And those statuses can be found under order statuses, list orders. So you can also make a new order status that you can assign this successful one to. So maybe PayPal success could be an order status that this would, so if somebody buys something and pays through PayPal, this would let you know that it was a successful transfer through PayPal. Or order status for pending payments, meaning it wasn't successful, or it's pending that they need to finish the PayPal payment processing. You could do a PayPal pending status, go create that within order statuses here. as well as accept only verified buyers, which is an option within PayPal. If it failed, meaning it failed, you could also say PayPal canceled, so that way on the back end here you know not to fulfill that order because it was a canceled order. And it could be PayPal canceled, meaning it failed on the transaction for PayPal for whatever reason. PayPal later failed that transaction. There is some information here as far as configuring or testing your PayPal connection, but for the most part it's pretty straightforward. And again, if you need help, we're here to help you. There's also some shopper group stuff, which I'm going to go over later on in another training video for session 1, and talk about shopper groups and the different options you have based on shopper groups. You can offer shopper groups different payment options. So for example, say you want to add a school as a shopper group, you can make it so that shopper group could pay COD. Basically, they're building a purchase order and charging it, and you're going to take that purchase order and then charge them later, and they'll pay later. As shopper groups, I'll get into more details on that. The other payment options that we have here is like I said, COD, WorldPay, VeriSign PayFlow, PayMate, no checks, iTransact. Also, we have what a lot of users will, not a lot, but some users will use to get started out is the manual credit card process, which requires some extra steps on your end, not necessarily on the credit card gateway's end. So manual process, you can choose your different credit cards that you want to, offer or accept. Plus, there is no configuration, but when you receive that credit card or that order, the credit card will be split out and stored in 2 different places and encrypted, hashed out in one area, and also provided to you via like a portion of the credit card number via email or in an order printout. And then you have to combine them and manually enter them into your POS system. There's also, using the manual, you'll also want to, for example, under orders, after a certain period of time, after you processed all of your orders, remove all credit card numbers. And this means those credit card numbers that are stored and hashed out in different areas. And it helps you, it's one more step of level of security and keeping you PCI compliant, that you're not storing credit card numbers of any portions of them or anything else. So it's just another step that you'll have to take into consideration if you do the manual card process to maintain that PCI compliancy. And that is it for payment processors. Again, to choose your payment processors and activate them, all you have to do is check on the X boxes or marks or the green checks to deactivate them. And for more information on each one of these payment gateways, you can go to the help section and look them up, because otherwise it's just too much details to go over each one depending on whether or not you're going to use them. That's it. Be sure to stick and go to the next training video for session 1, shopping cart.